What's up everybody, Chad here for yet another video with my truck, and this time I do have a bit of a question for you all. What do you think should go on the bed rack? So it's been a while. We haven't really talked about the bed rack since I did get it, install it, put it together and everything like that. But we are trying to kind of figure out a few different things that we can mount to this piece of aluminum that is just sitting on the back of my truck. And while it does look good, it is meant to mount and organize gear, and that's exactly what I plan on doing with it. So it's kind of coming down to the point where Bandit and myself both know what we want to put on it, what would look good on it, but we do want your opinion because ultimately we as humans do sometimes forget some things. So we do need to ask you guys what you think would look good and what your opinions are for this. There's one thing that I will tell you all, which I already did mention in the video of me assembling it and installing it on the truck, is that I will not be putting a rooftop tent anywhere up there. That's just not something that I plan on dropping $800 or more on. It's just not exactly something that I need, and I can't really justify buying something that expensive that I may use once or twice a year, considering using a ground tent or a hammock is really just enough for what I need. I don't need anything fancy enough. And while it kind of looks like the truck is being put towards a bit of an overland build, that is not exactly what I plan on doing. Overlanding is very cool, but it is not something that we really have time to do at the moment, even though we will probably try and do some of that in the future. So definitely let us know what you think should go here on the bed rack. We definitely are really enjoying it, and it looks really, really good with the paint on the truck. Even though that's not really the main reason I got it. You know, I do like the aluminum stuff. I do have the RCI aluminum skid plate on the front, and that has really done its job. It's been a really nice piece. And another positive thing about the aluminum is that it's extremely lightweight. This weighing in at about 30 pounds. If I were to get the steel version, it would be about 70 pounds. So not exactly really good for that at all. Good for being on the bed of the truck. One thing that has kind of come to our attention lately is that for these areas right here and right here, you can get bed stiffeners. Now you do have to do a little bit of drilling so far from what I can tell to put on those bed stiffeners, but when you do have weight on the sides of the truck, it can actually start to bow out a little bit. So even though this is only 30 pounds, I really don't think it would be that big of a deal, considering most of the weight is not exactly focused on specifically the sides. You know, it's comprised over the top, even though that means that it is pushing it down. There is more of that downward force that is constantly on there, and when you do go over bumps and hit potholes and everything like that, and even getting to the point where you're getting a little bit off camber, off-road, it can be a bit of an issue, and you know, that's really not good. It won't look good, and ultimately when you do have the tailgate up, you could start to get a bit more of a defined line in between here as it would start to spread over time. So that's not something that we want. So we are looking into getting the bed stiffeners that would go right here. I feel like that would be a good addition. There are many manufacturers out there that make them. They're usually powder coated steel and kind of do blend in and look really good right there. But there are things such as shovels, recovery boards, Max Tracks, which I would not be buying those branded Max Tracks. They're just far too expensive, and you can really find some cheaper ones on eBay or Amazon, but we're definitely looking into different options for that. There are also things like high lift jacks that could be mounted on here. There's also roto packs that can store extra fuel, water, medical supplies, anything like that. Some other cool options might even be up top, since there are little mounting slots on each section here of the top braces. You can put things like lights, which I'm not super big on light bars or anything big and flashy like that, especially when it comes to getting inspections. There are lots of things that the Department of Transportation here in Virginia will not allow to pass. So keeping some of that in mind when you guys do give us suggestions for it. But yeah, just keep some of that stuff in mind and let us know what you all think should get mounted here on the bed rack. Like I said, I'm super excited about it. It's been a while since I've done a video on it, since we did install it. I'm looking for some things that can really be put on there and kind of liven up the truck a little bit, make it look like it's actually something that does go off-road, even though we are pretty busy college students here at Virginia Tech, and it is a beautiful day out, but unfortunately we can't enjoy it because we both have classes and we have all these things that we do end up doing, all the clubs that we're involved with here at Virginia Tech. But it is an enjoyable place to be, and it definitely provides some nice scenic areas for us to do these types of videos here in the surrounding Blacksburg area, that is. But yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions or comments below. Definitely let us know what you think as far as what should get mounted onto the RCI aluminum bed rack. It's really just one of those things that you know, you just get busy and you put some mods and stuff into the truck, but it gets to the point where you just have life that gets in the way, and that, you know, that's okay, that's what happens, and sometimes you aren't able to do so much to the truck. But with the addition of the new Falcon Wild Peak tires, the bed rack, and the new, well, new to me, TRD off-road wheels, I like the direction that the truck is going. But yeah, definitely let us know what you guys think. Give us suggestions. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.